Hey again, it's Rob and I'm back. This time I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. Really, it's, we've got all the numbers in from the different resources and we've figured out kind of what happened to home prices in 2020. And we also want to look at the home prices for 2021, but what's important is how that affects you and why this is important. So let's talk about that. So first off, the important thing to understand is that all of the prices rose despite whatever people said were going to happen in 2020. Yeah, I know we had a bit of a recession. Yeah, I know there's COVID out there and it's very serious and I'm not downplaying that. But the reality is people saw comfort in houses, people saved more money, people as a result bought houses. And prices are up anywhere between 9% and 11% nationwide for housing in 2020. Nobody would have predicted that. So why is that important for you from last year and why is that forward? Well, here we go. So why it's important from last year is with the average house price in the United States hovering around $400,000, that means that the average homeowner made $24,000 in additional equity in their home in 2020. $24,000. So that's why that's important, because that puts people in a better safety net going forward, and it's just all around better for everybody. So what does that mean for 2021? Can prices continue to go up? Well, here's what we're seeing on a national real estate level. So the predictions are from all of the different sources you can see on this slide right up here. The predictions are that actually they're saying houses are going to come in around 5.9% for the year. So that's a lot. So if you take that same $400,000 house and make it go up 5.9%. But Rob, my house is worth $800,000. Well, you could effectively double the amount of equity that you're going to make. So what's driving the market right now? Well, there's several things going on. And by the way, click on subscribe to this if you want to see the videos that I put out. Most people say they're extremely informative and you can subscribe to them and get them as they come up online. So here's the deal. So when people are out looking for mortgage right now, mortgages have gone up slightly just in the last week or so, but they're still unbelievably cheap. I saw some rates come through this morning at 2.75% for a half a point fee. So let's say 3%. I actually just recently got an email from a client I sold a house to 30 years ago, and we'd written in there that the interest rate was not to exceed 10.25%. Isn't that crazy? Who could have ever thought in those terms back then? But the reality is, here's where we are now. So with interest rates staying low and this drive for people to look for houses with home offices, with home schooling, with home gyms, we're expecting this market to go ahead and continue raising up, probably, like I said, around 5.9%. And also the predictions are, the same experts are predicting that interest rates should stay below 3%. What does this mean for you? It means if you buy a house now that your payment's going to be low because of the interest rate, you're getting some appreciation and you've got yourself in the game. Now, if you're a young person looking to purchase your first home, my strong suggestion is get into the market now, because as you start paying down equity and the house appreciates over time, then you've got the options. And the options would be maybe when you're mid-40s, early 50 or something, to sell it. You pay down your house significantly and buy something bigger. And we're seeing a tremendous amount of that. What we're seeing right now is millennials that all of a sudden are having kids and moving to the burbs and stuff, and they're buying bigger houses. And they've got that opportunity because they got into the market a few years back buying a less expensive house. So again, to recap all of this and why this benefits you the most is that people made money on their houses last year. People are going to make money on their houses this year. Interest rates are going to stay low. It's still an amazing time to buy. I had a discussion with somebody the other day, like, hey, if I bought a $400,000 house, how much, if it drops 10% in value, what happens? Well, you lost $40,000. But the question would be, if I was to buy that same house for $360,000 at 5% versus 3%, what's the difference? The difference is that $360,000 house is going to cost about $300 a month more in mortgage payments. So that's why we're seeing a steady increase for 2021. If you've got any questions on this, I get emails and calls and texts all the time from people saying, hey Rob, what about this, what about that? I got a lot of videos on this page that explains a lot of this stuff. My team and I have been a top selling real estate agent in the Portland, Oregon area for a long time, like going, I've actually passed 32 years now. And we're happy to help answer any questions you may have. So thanks again for watching. Again, subscribe to this, forward it to a friend. Appreciate you watching.